Brazilian applause.
Lucas facing for a FIFA. They're not afraid to attack, that's for sure. Ramos puts it through, Charlie Suarez! Oh, it's another early goal from Rafifa.
Not that left here at all. Rafifa will be very comfortable with the ball with this lead. Rafifa is the champion here. He's done Brazil proud. He's done everyone in this tournament proud.
Players from Season 1 return to competition with more experience. MS Josseri demonstrated total domination throughout the tournament.
Cut it back for Messi. It's 3. Here's another goal from MS Josseri, who has absolutely been dominating.
MS Josseri's total dominance made him the newest regional champion.
MS Josseri has gone through the entire tournament without losing a single game.
Messi making his way through Marcelo, a simple tap-in.
MS Josseri has the trophy and of course the ticket to our Ultimate Team Championship Series in Berlin on May 20th.
The Godfather returned and left little doubt who was the best.
Costella has been around for so long. Well, he's making a great strike through Ronaldo. Oh, it's popped in.
There it is.
So Giuseppe Costella, the man from America, and he's damn proud of it. The crowd absolutely hyped here on this side. Vieira, former legend of thought, through to Ronaldo, might get a shooting chance. Ronaldo, the tapping, Suarez! Costella scores! That is it. Costella's the champion.
Today the title belongs to Costella, and with it comes a ticket to the FIFA Ultimate Team Championship Final. We are in Madrid, Spain. You're going to want to keep your eyes on players like Gorilla.
Gorilla will take the divisional final.
We're about to get our final underway and find out who will be the champion here. We'll fall for Suarez. Oh, top corner. Gorilla brings it back.
It was all Gorilla for a while, but that one goal has set him up. Kante to Suarez! Game over, ladies and gentlemen! What a performance from the Italian.
Give it up for Principe! And now it all comes down to our final. From the Adidas base in Berlin, Germany.
FIFA sets up Ronaldo, perfect chance.
What a ball!
And MS Josseri, the regional champion in Whistler, is out of the tournament.
Costella and Principe will not be advancing to our championship bracket play here in Berlin. One of these two players is going home with the championship, the trophy, and $160,000.
In Chelsea's favour here, gets a chance for Neymar! Oh my word! Chelsea's in the lead, 3-2 on aggregate. Rocky needs to score 2 goals.
Pulls it back. Suarez! It's 3-2. Rocky's back in it. Just many men in front of him. Has come back there to Pelé. Oh, it's it! Rocky scored it! And would you believe it? The dying seconds. It's Rocky that is your champion of the FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Championships. Well, there we have it. That was how the FUT Champions process was broke down last year. Obviously, went to the few regional events, finished in Berlin, and finished in Berlin in good fashion.
Yeah, finished in style, you could say. What a final we had on his hands there. Shells wins the Xbox leg between the two players, between him and Rocky. Not his preferred console. Then goes on to his PlayStation 4, and it just capitulated for him. Last kick of the ball, Rocky did seal the victory and sealed $160,000 in his back pocket. But this year we've got a pretty special format, Brandon.
We have indeed. So, a bit different to last year. Both the major competitions in the FIFA world have joined together. You remember last year it was the FIFA Interactive World Cup. This year it's the FIFA E World Cup, and it's part of this huge global series, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You can see the breakdown there. We've got the event in Barcelona, and then a couple more events during the way, and everything will accumulate in that huge final coming up later in the year.
It will do, and it's important to remember, this is event number 1, the first event of the FIFA 18 Global Series. We're in Barcelona, Richard. We're in the biggest indoor arena in Spain for a FIFA event.
Yeah, it's a great marker for some of the players as well to really put their foot down across the competition. There are other FIFA players, really. If someone can come out, win Swiss style 7-0 and then dominate the full competition, you've got to be looking at them as a favourite for that big final.
It's important. Remember, there was that one man from England that went away as the world champion last year. Let's go back to the FIFA Interactive World Cup Grand Final that happened in London.
The FIWC 2017 Grand Final is underway, and we're here to bring you the story of a dramatic first game.
were some huge matchups as 32 of the world's best FIFA players went head to head. We saw some spectacular goals. And passionate celebration. Some players would leave disappointed. For others, it's on to the knockout stage. We were down to the final 16 players on day 2 of the FIWC 2017, the knockout stage. With the tension high, we saw some incredible matches.
A little bit fortunate here, but there was Ronaldo.
I played since 10 years FIFA and I never had such a comeback like this. It's amazing.
There was a massive surprise as highly fancied Rocky was beaten by Janos. While others made it through as 16 became 8.
Ronaldo fake shot goes for the scoop turn, and there we go! Unbelievable finish.
The divisional semis were pure drama.
He's got to score! He does! Puts it away and wins the game to move through. This is such a high-stakes game that the pressure and keepers come out, but he's in! He's done it! It's Cody that will win the game.
Emotions were running high with a place in the divisional finals in sight.
Be beautiful, all the way back. Oh, Vieira! And that's what Gorilla does.
That's why he's one of the best in the FIFA scene.
We've gone back again, that's confidence. And that sent him into the divisional final.
The final 4 confirmed the opening exchanges were again exciting.
And the last champion that we had in FIFA was in London, a chance, and it's a goal! Absolute magical chance now for Gorilla to go 6 up. There's your full-time whistle, the first leg. That is 6-0.
The stage was set for the final showdown. What a day we had at the FIWC 2017. First, it was the second leg of the divisional finals. How would the players handle the pressure?
Penalty for Timox. He's going to go left, he's going to go right, he's got it in! Ronaldo tries to strike it with the left Suarez. Let's turn inside, balls it on it's in! Dito! He's going to win it here on golden goal and go through to the grand final. A mammoth task for Cody the finisher. If he can turn this one around, it would be the greatest comeback. It could certainly be a goal, it will be. That's a second with 5 more to score. It is going to be a Gorilla versus Dito grand final.
And then it all came down to the moment of truth, the final duel.
That is a brilliant goal. First leg will end here. 3 goals each. We're on the stroke of half-time, and he comes in again, and it's Holly that comes in from post. Deflected for Ronaldo! England are victorious in London. Spencer Ealing, a.k.a. Gorilla, is the 2017 FIFA Interactive World Champion.
Gorilla, a worthy champion, a spectacular end to a fantastic grand final.
What's up, guys? My name is Wolfie from the Maverick Wolves. We are here live in Barcelona for the Foot 18 Champions Cup. It's going to be an amazing event. As you can see, I'm on the floor. We've got the pros behind me. We're going to be walking around, seeing what the deal is, having a few Kiwi interviews with some of them, see how they prep to be a pro. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see the likes of Tass, Gorilla, Rocky, all of the pros in action. I'll be back a little bit later, but I'm about to throw it back to the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Wolfie, and it's important to remember that we do have the Maverick Wolves in the building over the weekend. They'll be catching up with pros, seeing how everyone's getting on in the competition. But
let's turn our attentions onto a few players at this event that have qualified as part of the 128 and are players to watch out for, you could say.
Yeah, some of the actual best statistic players through qualifying. We've got Melbourne City Marcus from down under Brandon. Breaks down some of these stats for me. 3.5 goals per game in qualification.
And, of course, 0.89 goals against. Shots per game. If you don't shoot, you don't score. Pretty self-explanatory. Talk to me about that guy, because one, he's from the rest of the world region, which, you know, the guys, there's not many of them that do come through the ranks, but to the ones that do, you've got to give credit to.
Yeah, and also, we spoke to him this morning a little bit, Marcus. He was extremely nervous coming into a competition like this. He's been to a few majors before, but this is by far the biggest competition that he has played at. I think it were a mixture of excitement and nerves.
Exactly that, and of course another player to have a watch for is Mahler from Germany, representing Stuttgart. Talk to me about this guy's stats as well. We say about German players being really impressive, you know, being maybe one step ahead in the game, and you can just see it from his stats there.
Yeah, the goals to shot conversion rate is actually quite remarkable. 7.33 shots per game in qualification during November, and he converted 3.51 goals per game. Unbelievable record for him. Doesn't concede a lot. We've seen him. He's been here before. He's an experienced pro. He gets quite comfortable as well when he's playing. We saw him earlier, headphones in, trying to really just eliminate himself from the situation. Try and make sure that he's as comfortable as possible. We saw him. He's got his shoes off. He plays with his feet crossed, his legs crossed, and just tries to imagine that it's not really anything important.
Yeah. And another player from Germany again, Tim Latka. Did exceptionally well in qualifying month. His stats, out of the three players, you've got to say they're the best ones.
Yeah, he's coming into this tournament with some great form as well. We recently saw him part of the Ajax qualifying, Ajax training days, and he beat Ajax Danny and Ajax Koen quite comfortably over the two-leg game that they did play. 4 goals per game in qualification, 8 shots. He's composed. I think that's a big word for him. He doesn't really crumble under pressure at all.
He goes about his business quite quietly, doesn't he? He gets the results he needs to, plays exceptionally well in qualifying month, but as you go, he goes about it quite quietly under the radar, but still is at every big major event.
Yeah, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think he finished second during qualification on the Xbox, only behind the machine Megabit, so one to look out for definitely in this tournament.
It's important to remember as well, we do have Chu and Spencer joining us over the weekend. They've had their time to choose their best players. Let's go and have a look.
Have to talk about the 3 guys who had a perfect November qualifying month. 160 wins from 160 games is quite simply unbelievable.
So after qualification, the guy that everybody was talking about was VfL Bochum's Megabit from Germany. Now, he not only qualified on 1 console, but qualified on 2 consoles. That's right, he played 80 matches of FUT Champions every weekend during qualifying month, and he got a perfect score on one of the consoles. So 160 out of 160 matches of FUT Champions, unbeaten. Insane player, especially the fact that he plays on both, which requires a lot of concentration, to be honest with you. So a lot of the other players and a lot of the fans in the FIFA community want to see if he can take up his form from home playing FUT Champions and put it on the big stage. But statistically, he's probably one of the people to keep an eye on.
Right, this was sensational what he did in November. Not only did he get 160 wins, a perfect month on Xbox, he got 158 wins on PlayStation. That is unprecedented, it's unbelievable. It's uncanny, quite frankly. I don't know how he did it. It's a lot of games at a high level. So if he can take that form into tournament play, he'll be almost impossible to beat. Definitely one to watch.
Another player from the UK to keep an eye on is Unilad Shells. He's now Gorilla's teammate at Unilad Esports.
Really strong player from last year. A bit of a rookie, came out of nowhere, made a lot of noise.
So of course we all know Shells from the dramatic final in Berlin for the FIFA 17 Championship Series. Unfortunately, he did lose in dramatic fashion, but in FIFA 18, he's looking real nice. He's still getting people with that 4-4-2 formation, and they don't know how to react. He qualified with a 160 out of 160 record. Perfect. So a lot of guys are saying that they just don't know how to handle his playstyle with that 4-4-2. Will he dominate in Champions Cup 1? There's only one way to find out.
And finally, we have to talk about Aggie Rosenmeyer, aka Aggie, recently joining United, and off the back of probably not his best year last year, has refound his form. Former world champion, 160 wins from 160 on PlayStation in November is very good, and he will be hoping to get himself a place in the playoffs at least. So certainly, hashtag Aggie one to watch.
He seems to have reinvigorated him. He's having fun. He went on a 270 game win streak in FUT Champions this year. This guy is just knocking out 40 out of 40s in the weekend league like it's nothing. So the Danish champion, the 6-time Danish champion, is back in form. So he's going to have a lot of the other pros shook.
So guys, they are my 10 names to watch for the Barcelona Winter Cup. It's going to be a sensational tournament, and that's why I'm dressing up for it, you know. Got my Team of the Year FIFA 18 shirt on. Let's go. Let's have a good tournament.
3 players had exceptional qualifying months, the perfect qualifying month, you could say. 160 to 0. What a performance from those guys. You know, it's 40 games a week, and if you can come out and win every single one of those games, you do deserve the credit. You do deserve to be called some of the best players in the world. But that wasn't all of the picks that Chu and Spencer did choose. 7 more players they did look at. Let's have a look at those ones too.
What up, guys? It's your boy.
Hi guys, Spencer here.
You know I love my FIFA esports, and
I've been asked to prepare a list of 10 players who I think could be ones to watch or potential winners of the FUT Champions Winter Cup.
Now, I've been keeping a close eye on the pro players leading into the event.
There's a lot of players, all fantastic, and it's a brand new format, so anyone could win. However, I have been able to narrow down 10 players I think we should keep an eye on. Starting off with the current FIWC, as it was previously known, champion, Spencer Ealing, aka Huge Gorilla, aka Unilad Gorilla.
He took home $200,000 in prize money at FIWC 17, and if we take a look at Gorilla's competitive year last year, he did start off slow in Season 1 and Season 2 of FIFA 17, but the thing about Gorilla is that you can't write him off. This guy comes through when it's clutch time, so he is going to be a fierce competitor in this tournament, and he's the kind of guy that delivers when he needs to.
He's probably, fair to say, the most dominant FIFA player in recent years. He had a great year last year, obviously winning that big trophy. Didn't have the best November qualifying month for FUT Champions, comparative to some other players. He got 153 wins in 160 games, which is certainly decent, but there were some players that beat him. He would have liked to have a slightly better month, but he is a tournament player. Spencer comes good under pressure, so expect him to be at least securing a spot in the playoffs, but maybe going the whole way and winning the whole event.
So, Rocky with a heartbreaker for Gorilla, equalising. We'll see if there's going to be a fast break from Gorilla, whether he's just going to try and hold the ball and make him play for that extra time. Pogba to Suarez, Ronaldo through ball to Pogba, tries a little chip for Hullit, surely! Oh! Hullit buries it!
Didn't even need 4 minutes there for that one. That's typical Gorilla style.
Of course, FIFA is a global game, and North America wants a piece of the action, and their best player has got to be NYCFC Chris. Now, he is MLS's first FIFA esports pro player. Last year was his rookie year as an esports pro player, and he managed to reach an impressive 3 major finals. So he's going to be looking to take it to the next level in FIFA 18. The main theme of qualification month for Champions Cup 1 was the domination by the German pros, including Mo Aubameyang, who qualified 4th overall and only lost 1 game out of his 160 game total.
He was someone that did well last year, and he's been around for a few years now. Very strong player, 159 wins, just missing out on that perfect month for November. I expect Mo Aubameyang to be making some noise, definitely, in Barcelona.
Now, this guy streams while playing Weekend League, which is an amazing task, and it shows you how high of a concentration level that he does have while playing FIFA. You might recognize him from FIWC 17, where he made one of the most insane comebacks, so an exciting player to watch. The final German player on my list of potential winners for Champions Cup 1 is Kai Wallen, aka Dito. He was the runner-up to Unilad Gorilla in FIWC 17. Dito is a FIFA veteran and probably one of the most experienced players in Champions Cup. So he is very good at using that experience to dominate his opponents and just keeping calm
on the big stage. I mean, this guy is ice cold when it comes to any level of competitive play in front of anybody, whether it's, hundreds or thousands of people. So, and also this guy gets 40 out of 40s in the weekend league while streaming on Twitch. So he's got an insane level of experience and concentration. So in a highly competitive environment, he can stay calm where other pros might get nervous.
We've got to talk about Ice Principe, the Italian. He was the first person last year to win a FUT Champs regional event on the PlayStation side, okay, which the Xbox were kind of dominant last year, so he really did well on the PlayStation. There's a lot of good PlayStation guys this year, though. I expect that to change, obviously with Icons being available on PlayStation as well. So look out for a few strong performers on the PlayStation side, and Ice Principe will certainly be one of them. And he'll be hoping, if he plays his best, he'll be booking himself a spot in the playoffs. He's certainly in the upper echelon of the players going to Barcelona.
FIFA esports fans in France will be hoping that Vitaly Rocky dominates the scene like he did in FIFA 17. Of course, Rocky was the winner for the FIFA 17 Championship Series Grand Final in Berlin, taking home $160,000. So he's got to be one of the favorites to take home Champions Cup 1. Will it be as dominant as he was in FIFA 17? Only time will tell. Now, the player I'm most excited to see in Champions Cup is Kurt. This guy is known as the Conor McGregor of the FIFA Pro esports scene. I mean, this guy talks the talk, but can he walk the walk? Amazing trash talker. This guy, I mean, he doesn't even believe he's from this planet. Either way, his passionate fans will be eager to see him make his Global Series debut.
And there you saw it there. Some of the best players, or the ones with the biggest names to watch out for this weekend. Of course, mentioned by Chu and Spencer, that will be involved in the tournament from tomorrow onwards. But some of those players in there. Mo Aubameyang, Shell's obviously talked about before.
One I want to talk about, New York City Chris Brandon. Got to 3 major finals last year, and very unfortunate to not actually win a major trophy over the course of FIFA 17, but it will be one definitely to watch out for this weekend.
Most definitely indeed, and there's some really exciting news. For anyone that is watching at home, you can get involved to see which match that you want to see. There's 3 options, isn't there, to start this off, Richard?
Yeah, you just tweet using the hashtag #NextMatchFIFA18, and you've got some huge games there. 2 Unilad lads featured there, and also Vitality Rocky, the ex-champion.
And the way you can do that is basically tweet away. Make sure you use the hashtag #NextMatchFIFA18, and you guys are in control of the game that you want to see next. More exciting news for you, Richard. This weekend, you guys are home. Yes, you guys. If you watch the stream, support it all the way through. Throughout each day, you guys can earn some FIFA 18 Ultimate Team rewards, can't they?
Yeah, we've got some big prizes that will be released over the course of the weekend. Just make sure you link your Twitch account to your Ultimate Team account and watch away, and you could be one of the lucky winners, Brandon.
And I've heard 5,000 rare gold packs, I believe, could be dropping. And there's a lot more, or even better stuff, to come over the weekend. I can tell you that, and that's all I can say to you.
Yeah, just keep on watching throughout the weekend. But we'll be back after this short break where the competition will kick off.
Alexander?
Yeah. In Indonesia, we go big or go home. When I was 16 years old, I caught this massive wave. From that wave on, changed my life. I never, in a million years, see I own all these properties and businesses. So I want to give back to the kids, you know. I want to open the doors for them. They have to have the passion in life to do things what they love. Life is good.
This is it. The Madden NFL 18 Club Championship. It's the title before the title, the hitch before the go, the chip before the chip. This is where you might see a banner raised in Cleveland before you ever see another one in Foxborough. Where players repped by all 32 NFL squads converge to battle it out in hopes of taking home that sweet, sweet championship belt. And where your team always has a shot at the crown. This is where it all goes down. And it's happening 3 days before the other big game. Let's get it.
Hunter?
Yeah.
Forget them. They don't know anything. You're the greatest. Do you want my Coke? It's okay. You can have it.
Yeah, you're all right then.
Nobody's gonna believe me.
You got a phone?
Yeah.
Well, come here then.
This is it. The Madden NFL 18 Club Championship. It's the title before the title. The hitch before the go. The chip before the chip. This is where you might see a banner raised in Cleveland before you ever see another one in Foxborough. Where players repped by all 32 NFL squads converge to battle it out in hopes of taking home that sweet, sweet championship belt. And where your team always has a shot at the crown. This is where it all goes down. And it's happening 3 days before the other big game. Let's get it.
Alex Hunter.
Do you want my Coke? It's okay. You can have it.
Yeah, you're all right then.
Might get a shooting chance. Ronaldo! The tapping Suarez!
This is the biggest FIFA Ultimate Team ever has been.
When you play games like that, anything can happen.
It's all about mental. These are the most elite players. Gotta take your chances. And it's all about controlling the tempo.
Finishes in style.
It's pretty much win or go home.
I'm here to win it. I'll beat anyone that's in my way.
Well, hello there. Welcome back to the FIFA 18 Ultimate Team Champions Cup in Barcelona. And I've got a special guest with me now. Some you know as Ivan Lepania, hashtag Boras, Boras legend. Boras, welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, we waited for 2 hours and finally we're going to start this action. We have the world's 128 best players here and I can't wait to see this action.
And as Chu and Spencer said, they mentioned some of their best players or the ones that they're really looking forward to seeing as they come into this. Who are you looking at?
Well, of course, I'm looking out for my teammates. I'm going to try to not be too biased here on the stream, but we have August, Ryan, of course also Harry, but we're also going to see 2 guys who also went unbeaten in the qualification month. We have Shells with 160, and Owen also, of course, Megabit, a German wonder who's been absolutely fantastic this year.
And also there's a Scandinavian yourself. Let's talk about obviously a really close friend of yours, August Rosamai, hashtag Aggie, some know him as 160 to 0, sorry. The best qualifying month you can have. How did you see that as a friend?
Well, I was of course very happy for him, and I think this year what made him so strong was consistency, and that is so important playing FIFA. For example, last year he started off playing Xbox the first half a year, and then he switched over to PlayStation. And FIFA 18, right from day one, he started off playing PlayStation.
Which is a bit of a weird thing if we say, because a point to make is that there's no Scandinavian players over on the Xbox side of things. They're all on PlayStation.
Yeah, because, you know, PlayStation is the thing in Scandinavia. It's just like in UK, I think Xbox is way more popular because the marketing is just focused on that target, you know, and in Scandinavia, I think looking at the console, I think PlayStation is extremely dominant. I think 90% of like the pro players in Scandinavia are playing on PlayStation.
So I believe the games will be taking place shortly. Obviously, you guys did use that vote. Hashtag next match FIFA 18, I believe. Let's talk about, say if you were at an event like this for us, you're going into an event, it's a different surrounding than being in your own home, isn't it? You're not in the comforts of your own home now. You're in a big venue in Barcelona. You've travelled hours to come here. What are you expecting, or some characteristics you'd like to see from these pros?
Well, always, you know, the first games is going to be a lot of nerves. I mean, even though you are very experienced, you will feel the nerves. That is also very natural. You need to feel the gameplay. Of course, now they had 2 hours of warm-up, which, of course, helps them a lot. But the first games always in the big tournaments, we're going to see a lot more of mistakes, maybe a little bit more of careful gameplay. You know, you don't want to take risks because you want a good start, you want that first victory that can be crucial.
And this is different this year, isn't it? Swiss-style format, which is, I believe, a great move because you're not coming here, you're not playing 3 games and going home. You're playing, at least every game is a 2-legged game, let's just remind for that. But you know, you're playing your first game. Even if you lose your first 3, which, you know, fingers crossed, no one does do that. I'm not saying no one should. You lose your first 3, you can still come back, bring back the best comeback ever, win 4 games and go through to the last 32.
Yeah, well, the format is fantastic this year also. There are like no group of deaths. Like, you will always match up against an opponent on your level. And if you lose 4 games, you're out. And if you win 4 games, you're through. And this format, the Swiss format, is very popular in chess. And now we're seeing it in FIFA, and I simply love it.
I know you're a big chess fan yourself.
Yes.
Expect a lot of games similar to a chess match here. Everyone's a little bit worried to move a player out of position. It's just kind of trying to feel each other out, and we'll be seeing that as we go through this competition. A little point we can talk about a lot more here is, for a lot of these guys, where they've been playing weekend league for since the beginning of the game, they've had the reward system, squad battles as well. A lot of these guys can afford the teams that they want to anyway, but there's 1 or 2 players out there that won't have had access to every player out there. Would you come into this event, say if you can use the icon Ronaldo, and at home you couldn't afford him, do you take that risk? Do you bring him into your team, or do you play the way that you know via qualifying month?
Well, that is a very tricky question, and I had a lot of pros asking me, Boris, which team should I go for? Should I use the player that I'm used to, or just try all of these, fantastic monstrous players like R9? And I told him, for example, last year you had the team of the options. You had Ramos, Modric, C7. Like, if you enjoyed them last year, you will also, of course, enjoy them this year. And El Fenomeno, Ronaldo Nazario, I mean, he is a goal-scoring machine. Even though if you're not used to him, he will make a big difference.
Of course, and he hasn't even had his prime out yet. There's still some icons out there. There's 40 icons on the game. Used to be called legends. Now they're named as icons, and more importantly, they're on PlayStation 4 now as well too.
Yeah,
which is a massive move.
Massive move, and we will see it. It becomes important, for example, in the cross-console final, where last year you had the PlayStation players that would not use the icons, and maybe that can be counted as a disadvantage. But now everybody is on exactly the same terms.
Do you feel like that last year it was kind of an excuse, wasn't it? Sometimes it was a case of, I can't use my icons, I can't use my best team maybe, or players that aren't used to using icons, they didn't really know what to do with themselves. The only excuse you can have this year is maybe the controller size.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we all know that FIFA players, they love making excuses. And here in Barcelona, well, it's very difficult to find any, actually. It's very difficult. The conditions are absolutely perfect. It's a little bit chill, but people have jackets, I hope.
End of the day, you're in Barcelona to play FIFA, which is exceptional. Team of the Year, that came out not long ago, but more importantly, games are underway, and it's Shell's Unilad up against Sterren Status from Holland. Talk to me about Shells. Fantastic qualifying month. Can he take through that momentum into this competition now?
Well, Shells was the star of FIFA 17. He came out of nowhere and just shocked the whole pro scene, and he was absolutely amazing. Couldn't really capitalize on that in FWC. He had a tough round, but he's back this year.
Here he comes now. Chance for Ronaldo. And that's De Gea. I believe that will be the Team of the Year, De Gea. 97 rated, of course. The best card he has had to date, but what a start from Shells.
I think that was actually, yes, that was Shells having this chance, yeah, and De Gea with a great save. And a lot of players here complaining about Team of the Year, De Gea, but we will see some amazing saves.
Most definitely indeed. It is Shells in that yellow strip, let's just remind you there. And Sterren Status, obviously from Holland.
Yes, Sterren Status also by some players known as Levi Maestro. And he's been in the pro scene for a long time. He's been to these old G50 tournaments, to the Virgin Gaming tournaments back in FIFA 12-13, so he's a very well-known name.
Shells looking to start on early here. De Gea called into action again there. That Ruud Gullit card looks very dangerous within the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, you could argue say that he's definitely the best midfielder in the game. He's so all-round. He can play in all defensive positions, and also he can play in all attacking positions. I think he can even overtake De Gea as a goalkeeper. I mean, he's so
versatile, really.
That would be a big ask for the Dutchman, of course. Recently just launched his own esports team, Team Hullet, and just remember that 2 of those players are in this competition. What a move that was. Hullet making his own esports FIFA team.
And that is huge, and we're seeing, of course, a lot of football teams getting into the FIFA scene, because, I mean, the potential is huge. I think we could see, if not the biggest esports in a couple of years, maybe, you know, the biggest.
Well, here comes Shells now. Still 0-0 in this. Remember, this is the first game. Chance for him now. Oh, lovely! Oh, that's a lovely goal. Ronaldo slots that one away, and it is that man from Unilad Shells that does take the lead here.
Yeah, that is a wonderful action there from Shells. Great technique, but also a little bit maybe Levi is a bit cold. He's pushing too hard here with Ferdinand. He could have just fall back a little bit, but he pushes up too hard, which gives Shells this great opportunity, which he realizes perfectly.
And of course, the highest rated player in the game today, Ronaldo, 99 rated. Last year, it seemed like Suarez was the best finisher in the game. I don't know about you, but Ronaldo, he can head the ball, he can jump, he can volley, he can finesse. That man is a bit of a superman.
Yeah, he can do anything, and we can see here also Shells getting a new chance.
Oh, he's going to just keep going there. Rio Ferdinand doing well on this time of asking. The first time he did just get Maradona spun by Ronaldo, and it was just slotted past.
Yeah,
the
we
keeper.
saw Shells there. I think that was not really the skill move that he wanted to do. That was a very easy catch for Sterren Status.
But the way that we're used to seeing Ultimate Team go this year is lots of goals being scored for us. I don't know about you.
Well, a lot of course, because defending in FIFA 18 is more difficult. Like I said, it's more like ice skating, and you have to be so much more focused and so much more precise, which I enjoy a lot. But also, of course, we're going to see more goals. And also, of course, I mean, finishing in FIFA 18 is absolutely overpowered.
Oh, I can see a run coming through now. He just needs to put it past the keeper, but the Spaniard, Zaya, does come off the line, and he will catch that one just to keep Sterren Status only at a 1-0 deficit here. But he's got ages left in this game. Remember, it's 2 legs as well. You know, 2-leg games, even if you're 3-0 down in your first game, you've still got the chance to come back and get it back to square, haven't you?
Yeah, we have a best of 2, so that is 12 minutes multiplied with 2, so 24 in-game minutes of efficient FIFA time. That is a lot of time, and like I said before, it will take time to get warm, and Levi is that type of player, or Sterren Status, that he plays with very small spaces, small margins, and he needs to get warm.
There will be a number of players here that will be desperate, itching to try and start the competition well. You know, I'm sure you've been to a number of competitions yourself, Boras, you know, being in the e-sport for so long. How much confidence did it fill you with when you got, you know, 1-0 in your first game?
Well, scoring goals, it gives an instant boost to your confidence.
Anyone there? No, there isn't, and De Gea will just save that one. But going back to that point, if you win your first game, surely it just fills you with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, just scoring 1 goal, and I think people can relate to that, playing for champs. I mean, scoring that first goal is so crucial for confidence. It just boosts you. It allows you to play with a bigger risk and more aggressive, which is usually the way, and the way to also score more goals, of course.
And we saw there, obviously, use the hashtag next match FIFA 18. You guys voted for the Shells game up against Sterren Status from Holland. At the moment, Shells is 1 up. Could he be 2 now? Here's a chance. And De Gea again. De Gea being called into action quite a lot in this first half.
Yeah, I think Sterren Status, De Gea has been working very hard this far, and he's saving him from a bigger deficit this far.
Only 1-0 still the score here. Remember, there is a Swiss format style for day 1, so basically 7 rounds of fixtures, the most you can play. If you win 4 games, you go through. You lose 4, unfortunately, you do go home. But each game is over 2 legs still, so there's no away goals. If you are drawing after those 2 games, you go to extra time. You go to penalties if you have to. But here comes Sterren Status now. Going to link it back inside to Marcelo, the left back there, which we will come into in a minute, just talking about full-backs this year. Everyone has their own preference on them, but I don't know about you. Everyone seems to like Antonio Valencia, Marcelo, Carl Walker last year. Who's your kind of fullback that you go towards?
Well, me personally, I prefer Walker because of the height, but we will see. I think the majority of the players here will use Valencia because of the strength. I mean, he is, you could say that he is a pure glitch in FIFA 18 because he has, I think, some around 85 strength, but it surely feels like it's 130, and like he is concrete. There's no way getting past it.
A bit of a brick wall, but there's the half-time whistle. What have you made of this first half for us? Has it been one-way traffic, or...?
Well, Shell's definitely been the better player this first half. He seems like the more confident player, which you could understand that. I mean, going 160 and and also Stern Status. He's been playing Xbox the last month. I've seen he's building his Xbox team, and you know, that could be an issue. You know, because surely the gameplay is pretty much the same, but the controller could be a thing here where he really didn't adapt yet to the PlayStation controller.
Well, just looking at the match stats there, Boras. Stern Status, 0 shots. He may have had the possession, 62% of it, but no shots. You don't have a shot, you don't score goals.
Yeah, and that's what I say, especially in Ultimate Team. You have to finish, because all of these cards, all of these items, the players, they have amazing finishing. I mean, the likes of Gullit, the Neymar Team of the Year versions, they will score from almost all angles. And to win games, to score goals, you have to shoot.
It was something we saw a lot last year in the FIFA Interactive World Cup Grand Final. A lot of the Americas players were coming over, different play style, lots more shots from distance against the EU guys. That if I had to, you know, compare them to a way a football club plays, maybe Barcelona 5 years ago, just perfect play. The ball was like passed into the back of the net. The NA guys were coming over, taking shots from 35 yards out, and they were just picking the keeper off.
And especially if you look at the Stern Status game style, he's always been that type of player. He wants to pass the ball into the goal. You know, he is strongly inspired by that the tiki-taka play style, and he's a very logical player. You don't make, if you say random things, you don't want to try just the luck. You want to just make the safe choices. And sometimes playing in Ultimate Team, that can actually hurt you.
And a lot of these guys as well, especially the EU guys, or any pro player, to be honest, they're not going to waste chances at this level. Every shot they're going to have is going to be a 90% chance of going in, surely, especially with the players they've got. Here comes Stern Status, intercepted there by Valencia, and then into Henry, who's in a very deep position in Chelsea's own half.
Yeah, because Chelsea's playing the 4-4-2, which he made famous this year. I know he made this video about 4-4-2, and after that all of the pro players were like, oh ho, I have to try this formation, it looks absolutely fantastic. And we're seeing more players here actually copying Shell's playstyle, and that just shows I mean, his rank currently in the pro scene. He's one of the absolute best players.
Well, here comes Shells now. Ronaldo, fantastic defending there from Sergio Ramos, which we'll come on to last year. We did see a lot of David Luiz's, Sergio Ramos. These players were filling into CDM sometimes. I've heard one or two players, don't quote me on this, but occasionally they will move the air around for Ramos in CDM sometimes. Don't quote me on that. Any reason why?
I'm not really sure, but we will see like the usual team this tournament will of course be having Ramos playing as a centre back, but we might see some variation. For example, I know Erhan Doctor is playing Ramos as a CDM because of the pace. I mean, he's very fast, and also his attacking skills are very, very nice. And I think we might also not be surprised seeing Ramos playing as a right back, which was, I mean, in his real life career, his first position. So it's likely that we will see Ramos in different positions this tournament. Great chance here.
Great chance indeed. If you're wondering who that voice is, that is #Boras. Ivan Lepagna, some will know him as the tutorial god, you could say, from the YouTube scene.
Appreciate that, Brandon.
At the moment, it's one-way traffic.
Yeah, I mean, Shell's this far, it's gone 2/3 of this first game, and he's playing absolutely perfect defense. He leaves nothing for Stern Status, and like I said before, I think Stern Status, he has to try to find the long shots to open up his defense, because passing it around, it will not work looking at the gameplay right now.
Do you think that's one thing that you want from Stern Status? Take a shot, take a risk.
Yeah, but you can also see how Shell's working in the defense. Every time he gets close to the box, he puts press on the baller. He never leaves space for the long shot. Here he could have taken it maybe with Ramos. There was some space, but Shell's is playing very, very good defense right now.
Something that's very underrated in this game, and I'm sure you've made your choice about player changing.
Yeah, the switching, right stick switching in the defense is key, and that is something that these best players master very good. I mean, switching with the right stick, switching with L1 all the time, or of course that is LB on Xbox, all the time knowing how to switch and which player to switch to.
Most definitely, because if you do it 1 second late, you've left a gap, you're in trouble at the back. Here comes Shells on the edge. Oh, he's with Ronaldo again. Free kick.
Once again,
free kick. Oh, going to be a free kick, I believe, on the edge of the box.
Yeah, once again, the roulette is creating huge problems for Status.
That one's blocked by Blanc. Into Ronaldo. Just get rid of it, Status, but he's just in trouble still. Shot for Ronaldo. On the rebound, a little bit fortunate. But Shells won't be complaining of that at all. He takes the 2-0 advantage. And who else would it be but that icon card, R9 Ronaldo?
Yeah, this is very logical looking at the game here, because Shells been dominating this game from minute 1. You're also going to see here he has to change something, and it goes changing from the 4-2-3-1 to the more attacking 4-2-2, which actually 4-2-2-2. 4-2-2-2, which is pretty similar to the 4-2-3-1, but you have 2 strikers, but you're going to miss out on that cam. But using 2 strikers could mix things up here, and I think this is a good change, because he has to change something. He had 0 shots this far after 70 minutes.
Well, I believe Messi's just come on there, the Team of the Year card. We've heard a roar, someone's probably scored in the building. Remember, there's so many games underway. Obviously, you guys got involved to watch this game. Hashtag next match, FIFA 18. You wanted to see Shells in action up against Status. This is the first game of the competition, you could say, and it's the first leg. There will be a second leg after this. So if you're in Sterren's position, there's still a long time for him to get back in this.
Yeah, there's still one more game, because right now he can feel it that Shells has the momentum in this game, and it's so hard to get out, because all of his players, they are everywhere, and it can be very important for Stern to get that fresh start in that second game.
Even just 1 goal for him. If he gets 1 goal, that's a bit of confidence for him to go into the next game.
Yeah, and just so you know that if we have a draw, we're going to have extra time. So a draw can never happen.
Most definitely not. Here comes Hullet now. Valencia. Remember, this is Shells in that yellow strip with the Oxford badge that he was using all throughout last year. Maybe it was a good luck charm for him, or it may just be from Oxford.
Yeah, and also we're going to see here he's subbed on Ronaldinho Gaucho, is a fresh prime item, which has been very enjoyable. I also tried in 20 games as a lone player, and he's definitely one of the best items in the game.
Oh, there's a show right there from Shells. Tried to get it back inside. What a save!
Yeah, right now, Status De Gea keeping him in this game. And he has to find some new ways, because right now Shells is tearing him apart.
Ronaldo now, inside the box, just trying to bring out the skill moves, but Status will stand strong on that occasion. Ramos now. Through to Ronaldo. Ramos in a very attacking position. The substitute Messi on now. Remember, it's his Team of the Year card. Can he produce some magic for the Dutchman? Back to goal. Cuts back inside. Oh, nearly lined up for a finesse, maybe. Oh, still got a chance there if it goes as far into the box. But Ronaldinho will do his defensive duties for Shells and just try and calm that man down going into the next game.
Yeah, and you spoke before about trying out new players, and I spoke to Status before this tournament, and he said, yeah, you know, he had this question: should I use these Team of the Year players? Should I use R9 because I never tried him? And you can see there that he's using a lot of new players, and it might take some time for him to you know, just adapt to this new team. While on the other hand, Shells, you know, he had a very good team the whole year, so he's used to his players, which can be an advantage here in this game.
Most definitely, and of course this year only get the added time of 2 minutes or 3 minutes. There goes the full-time whistle for match number 1. Shells picks up the 2-0 win. Boras, deserved or not?
Well, definitely. I mean, Shells, he put on an amazing performance here in this first game. He's showing really why he's so good and why he was number 2 in last year's for Champions. I mean, his defense is totally on point. He leaves nothing for Status.
And more importantly, that 4-4-2. Talk to me about that 4-4-2, Boras.
Well, the 4-4-2, it gives you great width, and also in the defense it's very stable, because you have 2 CMs who will cover the midfield. They will cover the space in front of the defensive line, and this is a very, very, you know, it's a very dangerous space, and you want to have this covered. You have 2 CMs and also pretty defensive wingers covering, also helping the wing backs out. And you will always, always, always have 2 strikers up front. and 2 strikers is enough to create some kind of counterattack.
Of course, so when you've got 2 strikers up front, sometimes one can essentially play as a holding player, maybe to play in, and you've always got the option to play a through ball to the ongoing runner.
And you can also find this, this ping-pong passing, and which is not possible if you have only 1 striker. For example, in a 4-2-3-1, that is not possible the same way. But what makes 4-4-2 so deadly is these wingers, LM, RM, because in the attack, they make these, sneaky runs on the wings, they're always getting into the perfect position. And it is so hard to defend him, because the usual thing, what happens in defending in FIFA 18, that if the opponent passes the ball around a long time, your defense will get narrow and more narrow for every pass, and the wings will get totally open. And I think closing these wings down is the key to stop the 4-4-2.
Of course, it looks like we've got a bit of a tie on our hands here. I think it's Mo Aubameyang.
Yes, Aubameyang here playing against Krabbe. I don't know much about Krabbe, but Aubameyang was, of course, he had a great season last year. He was in the quarterfinals of the FIWC, the World Cup, which this year, of course, changed to the FEWC.
And apparently, sorry to interrupt, Boris, Mo Aubameyang was 2-1 down in this game. This is only the first leg still, but you said about Mo Aubameyang, again, another top German player. The German scene is bringing through a lot of top quality players. You had Dito in that final last year. I think behind the UK, it was either Germany or the UK that have got the most pro players at this event.
Yeah, of course. If you look at the population also in the countries, they are huge countries, and you will see more good players. But especially Germany.
Oh, it's a chance now, just put for him.
It's unfortunate for Mo there. It's a rebound, and it's not really much to do because it is a ricochet, and he gets a totally open chance. It's unlucky, just unlucky for Mo.
Krabbe won't be missing them ones at all, just popped in front of him. And when you've got Neymar lurking over it, 9 times out of 10 it's going to go into the back of the net.
Yeah, we've seen many players here using Neymar, actually preferring using Neymar over the Messi 98, and of course it's his second in form, because they don't have the third in form yet here available for the players. But I think Neymar this year, with the double 5-star weak foot, the 5-star skill moves, he is very, very dangerous to play, because you never know. Right foot, weak foot, left foot. He has no weak foot.
Can Mo Aubameyang get himself a goal back? He was 2-1 down, got it to 2-2. Now he's 3-2 down. Could he be 4-2 down? Here comes Ronaldo. Oh, lovely showboat. Tries to finesse inside on that left foot. But Mo Aubameyang will just about stand strong. There's a chance now for him. Ronaldinho. But I'm guessing that is the prime Ronaldinho.
Yeah, that is definitely the prime with the ponytail. You can see it flying in the air, and I think that was GG for Aubameyang. He loses the ball, and now it's going to be very hard to get it back, but he gets it back. This can be dangerous here.
Last chance for him. Can he be through? Ronaldinho now has to go out wide, overlapping run if he can. Superb defending there from Antonio Valencia. This attack isn't over yet. He loses the ball, that full-time whistle goes. Vieira does get a free kick, and could this be dangerous?
Yeah, and he has to take it short, because shooting from this distance is not possible, especially if he has Timo Vieira in the goal. He's going to go short, try some combinations. It's a mistake.
Surely that will be full time for this game. Will there be one more goal? This could be a huge goal as well. Remember, these games are two-legged aggregate scores. Can he maybe get one more? This will be impressive if he can. He's taken it back though. Referee, is that full time? No, it's not. We're playing on still. Superb defending from Ramos.
Yeah,
and the full time score there.
You can also use. You can also see here Krabbe using this new movement in FIFA 18, the L1 or LB micro touch on the wings, and doing it with Neymar. I mean, the ball is so close to the feet, and it's almost impossible to take the ball.
Well, here's some of the goals there. That was Mo Aubameyang, who opened the scoring after 2 minutes, and then straight after went and conceded. Again, we've seen a massive different story here. Shells was 2-0 up. We've seen 5 goals in this game. Is it a difference in play styles, or is it just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes?
Well, also we have this, like I said before, this huge factor that it's the first game. People are a bit nervous, they have some nerves, and this first game is huge. Like getting the first win or the first loss, that can decide your tournament. And people here, they will be nervous. We will see a lot of mistakes in the first games, a lot of sloppy gameplay until they can feel the circumstances here, getting into the feeling here, at this venue, and as the tournament progresses, we will see more and more perfect gameplay.
Yeah. And one man that I believe we are going to go and see in a minute is Gorilla. Unilad Gorilla, the man is the world champion, you could say, obviously Vitality Rocky champion, Ultimate Team Championship champion.
He is the official world champion.
The FIFA Interactive World Cup, the main man, Unilad Gorilla. We're going to see him shortly, but Shell's had a good start we saw there. He won 2-0 going into his second game against Seren Status. But over to Gorilla now. He's up against Wendell Lira.
Yeah, I know a lot of Brazilians wanted to see this game. Wendell Lira, of course, very popular in Brazil. The former player of Goya, who won the Puskás Award, I think it was 2015, with a wonderful bicycle kick.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, and now he just changed.
Oh, that's a little bit fortunate, but he won't be complaining of that. Messi just hit it, and De Gea.
Yeah, I think actually, if I know Gorilla right, he's using the regular De Gea. And that could maybe be saved by the Team of the Year.
What a start for the Brazilian, Wendell Lira.
Is this the first leg or the second? Do we know this?
I'll be waiting to hear that very shortly. It's the first leg.
First leg.
Apologies there, but that isn't the start that Gorilla would have wanted at all. But we know Gorilla. He's known for the way he plays FIFA, how good he can be, especially coming back when he's losing in games. But for the Brazilian, that's a fantastic start for him.
Well, that's the best possible start. Like I said, yes, the former Puskás winner who, yes, he just retired from football, from the professional football, and just to focus on FIFA esports and his YouTube channel, which is massive in Brazil, of course. He's a huge star over there. That just shows how big esports become.
De Gea there just parries one way for a corner, but talking of footballers, obviously David Marner still plays, but he's involved in the esports scene. How many more players are we going to see involved in this? As obviously Hullet, we mentioned him, he's got his own team now. Is it something for the future, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we compare FIFA today compared with 3 years ago, it's been, the progress has been massive. We have, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we had maybe 4 or 5 full-time pros.
Yeah.
And now we have at least 100. I mean, it's fantastic.
Fantastic indeed, and of course, hats off to EA Sports. Since the FUT Champions came in last year, it's just been an incline. It's just constantly been going up, up, and up in this esports world. And we're here in Barcelona for the first event, the Champions Cup, obviously presented by PlayStation. And this is a feeder into those playoffs happening in June. 128 players here, but only 16 spots from this event will go to the playoffs in June.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is extremely tough here, and there's also a thing, because we have more and more pros, of course. The level is getting higher and higher, competition is getting better and better. And I think these days you can't only live by just talent, you know, you have to practice very hard, you have to work very hard to be the best. And Gorilla, of course, this year trying to defend his title from last year, and it's going to be very tough.
Oh, here he comes now, Ronaldinho, as easy as you like, equalises like that. He knew exactly what he was doing there, and that prime icon, Ronaldinho, will make it 1-1 for Gorilla.
Yeah, he just runs through, he gets the space here, and just, of course, he's going to go for that driven at the far post. That is the only option in this case here, and Gaucho here with the 4-star Wigford is not going to miss that.
Isn't indeed. 1-1, 2 goals in the first 17 minutes. Back to square one we are at in this first leg. Remember, every game is over 2 legs. No away goals. If they're drawing after the second leg, they'll go to extra time, and if need be, penalty shootout.
Yes, so like we said before, a draw is not possible. We have to need, we will have one winner from each game.
Here comes Wendell Lira now. Ronaldo trying to fizz that one across to the other Ronaldo, of course, icon Ronaldo in action. And CR7, as some will call him. Quite an aggressive start from the Brazilian. He's not scared, is he?
No, definitely not. I mean, coming from real-life football, you can imagine that he has good confidence from before, and I think he's definitely not scared of Gorilla here. And like I said, yes, he's huge in Brazil, and he has, I think, 10,000 of fans now watching him and wanting to see win this game. He can feel the support, surely.
I believe they've both got big followings on YouTube, of course. Some Brazilian fans, some English fans. They all want their one player to win, but only one player will win this one. Remember, it's Swiss style, guys. Today is Swiss style, going into the round of 32 later in the broadcast. So what that means is two-legged games. You play, basically, this game right here is based on November qualifying month. For example, Shells finished, Megabit finished top, obviously, over on the Xbox side. He'll play against 64th. Then second place plays against 63rd. Here comes a free kick from Grilla now off the training ground. Ronaldo from distance tried to hit that one and will be blocked by the other Ronaldo. But back to that point, they'll play against those rankings from November. After that first game, they'll come down. There's a chance. And icon Ronaldo. We hear about how good he is at finishing the ball. But there we go, 2-1, 30 minutes on the clock, and Gorilla is in control.
It's a very simple goal, and that is the power of El Phenomenal R9, because he has that 5-star weak foot, and as a defensive player, it's so hard to guess. Will it go left, will it go right? And even though you guess right, I mean, this guy has 5-star weak foot, and he can score from every single angle.
And in those weekend league games, you know, a lot of the guys stream the games. You see that Ronaldo card, scoring goals from everywhere. Here comes Grilla again, deflection there, and that will go up for a corner now. Probably going to play it short. No, he's into the front post. Ronaldo's there for the flick on if he needs it. Only as far as into the box instead. And we can see this one being whipped in from Marcelo, but just going to be recycled out to Rio Ferdinand. And that Ronaldo card that just scored for Grilla, just making an option for him. Don't think he's going to be shooting with Rio Ferdinand, and a chance to attack for the Brazilian now.
Yeah, we can see that Grilla is getting his heat up in his system, and he's a player who never stops. Even if he has a 5-1 lead, he will not stop trying to attack.
Put it past the keeper, massive save from De Gea.
Yeah, we can also see here how Grilla in the last second, he moves his goalkeeper with the right stick to get him in the position to cover that far post, and that is what saves this equalizer.
Straight down the other end. Can he get it? No, he can't. De Gea will be there. But this is counter-attack versus counter-attack football. Really exciting, isn't it, to see?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Grilla, he loves the attacking game style, and there will be a lot of chances in this game from both sides.
Have you come up against Grilla? Or practiced against him?
Well, actually, funny story when you ask me, because I played him twice in the old Gfinity tournaments back, I think it was FIFA 15-16. Actually, it was FIFA 16, so not so long ago. I played him in the qualification twice. And actually, I won both times. So
you win.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes that card again. What a save from De Gea. And we go up for a corner again, but going into the end of this first half, you've got to say, Grilla's on all the chances. Ramos fantastic. With the header.
Yeah, going for that just powerful and short corner at the first post, and it's you have Ramos there, you have Ronaldo there, and they're gonna win it. And just aiming for that far post, which is totally open. It's a very nice goal.
Captain, fantastic, you could say. Team of the year, I'm presuming Ramos, that's going to be. That card
he's powerful.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can see here in this sequence how he out jumps Ruud Gullit. And Ruud Gullit is 190, so he is a fantastic player, monstrous player.
This is only the first leg game, remember. There's still plenty of time in this one, which could mean plenty more goals to come. Wendell Lira playing the Brazilian kick. Can he get a goal back? Big goal! Did ever so well. Fake to go one way and slotted it in with the other. Ronaldo runs away, and 3-2 we're at now.
Once again, we can see how Grilla is trying to move his goalkeeper to cover that the far post, but this time the finishing is simply too precise to stop this effort, and it's still a game, 3-2.
And Wendell Lira, ex-professional footballer, now in the esports world, just getting himself a goal back in this tie. When you're up against the world champion, it's never going to be an easy day, is it?
Well, never, and I mean, when you get into trouble with Grilla, you get into big trouble, because like I said before, he doesn't stop. If he has a 10-0 lead, he doesn't stop. He never stops attacking, and that is his big strength.
Here comes Ronaldo now. Does he want to bite at the cherry? He's going to get a free kick at a time of 3 minutes to come here. Someone off the training ground maybe. What would you do in this area?
Well, you have to just a short one and go for that finishing, because taking a direct free kick, it's a bit too inconsistent in FIFA 18, and you have to go for that short one. As we can see here, combination.
This is interesting.
That's a nice one. Yeah, you will see, I think 90% of the players here will go for that short one. Maybe sometimes, you know, if you get the feeling, you could try that distance, but it's...
Oh, he's done ever so well to get through here. I think a point as well, Boras. I think it may have been FIFA 16 will come into after this attack. Marcelo there. Will he win a corner? Yes, he will. We'll just go into that corner before I talk about that. Just maybe last chance for the half. That same card again to the back post. Ronaldo this time. And referee, are we at half-time, yeah or not? No, we're not. We're playing on still. Ramos. Inside.
That's a good one.
Oh my God. Lovely skills. Ronaldo there.
Yeah, and this is fantastic from Gorilla, how he just he keeps composure in this situation. Instead of just stressing away a shot, he takes one extra skill move and gets into the perfect position.
Fantastic to watch. Oh, finesse surely. De Gea again called into action.
Yeah, and it's very stressful defending against Gorilla because his micro is fantastic. His skill moves with the timing is probably the best in the world. And that's also why he scores so many goals. Timing is on point all the time.
Half-time here, Boras, and Gorilla has been pretty dominant, but Wendell Lira, he still had a few chances himself.
Well, he's still in the game. I think thanks to De Gea this far, he made some great saves for him because right now Gorilla is the dominating player in this game. You can also see the stats that they are definitely in the favor for the Englishman here.
Just what I wanted to talk about was, I think it was FIFA 16. There was that free kick where you dummy over it and you'd feed it through, and 9 times out of 10 it would be a goal. But it got to a stage where everyone just knew how to defend it, didn't they? And that's the kind of the case in this year. You couldn't do that on this year. The way that you score them this year, everyone has like a different version. It seems to just be a basic layoff sometimes, but that one's so easy to defend for these guys.
Well, just the rule of thumb is make the layoff and then just use your creativity somehow. Great chance, space for Ronaldo.
Can he equalise? De Gea will save that one.
I think that was the wrong choice to move it over to his right foot there because he had a defender chasing and should just continue running and shoot with his weak foot because that is team of the year. He will score with both feet.
99 Ronaldo straight down the other end. Could it be painful for Wendell Lira? No, he doesn't. He clears that one away. And can just survive to fight another day up against Gorilla. This is his first leg game. Remember, guys, 2 legs each game. Plenty of time for these guys, even if they're losing, to get back in this position. But at the moment, other than one game, we've seen a lot of goals.
Yeah, and that's also what you're going to expect watching Gorilla's game. You will see a very attacking gameplay, and this is definitely not the last goal that we saw.
No.
We're going to see at least, in total, I think at least 10 goals from this series.
So I think last year we looked at players like Ajax Danny, for example. Was a bit of a machine in front of goal, just kept on scoring. Do you think that's the approach that a lot of guys take now? They don't get 2 goals and sit off. They just want to keep on scoring.
Yeah, and definitely, and especially talking about the FIFA 18, I mean, defending is much more difficult, and sometimes attacking is really the best way of defending, because you don't give the ball to your opponent, and a 1-goal lead here is definitely not safe.
Well, can Gorilla extend that lead? Hullet will intercept that one. That'll be the 90 rated icon card. Always a chance. He can just feed it through. Rio Ferdinand, I know you said you're a big fan of him before the stream started. What is it about him that he's just so good?
Well, always. I mean, having tall centre backs, the height means more pixels and a better reach in the defense for the standing tackles, for the sliding tackles. And Ferdinand is just, he's so consistent in the gameplay. I tried his prime version, and I think, because I also tried Maldini, I didn't try Timothy Ramos, but I think that Prime Ferdinand is the best centre back in the game. He's so consistent.
Well, Ronaldinho now. This is Gorilla in the blue. Chance. That one's blocked by Vieira. Patrick Vieira going back and doing his defensive duties there. A player that is often known for maybe coming back and covering into defend.
Yeah, definitely. One of the, the best midfielder in the game, and especially his prime version, which I have in my team, is an absolute phenomenon. Great goal.
Wow. Another player I was about to say that is superior in that midfield. He said Vieira, but a lot of people will turn around to you and say, what about Hullet? He is the best icon.
In the attack, yes. Attacking-wise, the best attacking midfielder. He can play as a LCM, RCM. He has this 5-star weak foot. He has 4-star skill moves. He is very fast. Great passing. I mean, there's nothing that he's bad at.
He's a bit of a Superman, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's a legend also in that manner that for FIFA players. I mean, ever since he became a legend on Xbox,
Yep.
of course now they call icons, but he's been the most popular legend/icon for many years, and that is for a big reason.
And if you didn't know already, a little fact just heard in there, Megabit is losing 2-1 in his game. The man that was 160 to 0 in qualifying over on Xbox is currently losing. What are you saying about that, Boras?
Well, of course, we're going to see some upsets, but this format is great in that way that even though you lose your first game, even though you lose your second game, or even your third game, you're still in the run. You only need to win 4 series, and you're through. So even though you get a bad start, I mean, it doesn't mean so much. In the previous format that we had last year, we had a smaller group stage. We had 4 players in each groups, best of 1. And if you lost that first game, you were in some big trouble.
So what changes do you expect to see here? I believe it may have been Wendell Lira that did pause it as well, but Gorilla, did you change formation? Or?
No, he just kept his diamond. He's happy with his gameplay this far. And I think we saw some substitutes coming from the Brazilian here. He needs some fresh legs on the pitch, but there is no reason for Gorilla to change anything, because right now he's looking very close to his A game.
Of course, I can see the tweets coming in. Come on, Gorilla, they are saying, people saying, how do I get into this? Foot champions. You see the mode on FIFA 18. Qualifying month, the next qualifying month is next month in February, to be in it with a chance of competing at that event in April, wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, and of course that is also a very big target for me, qualifying for the Spring Cup. So I cannot join you next time, brother. Sorry.
Well, you were so close, weren't you? I remember we were talking about it before. Was it just 2 wins difference?
Actually, it was 1 win because one of the losses were this so-called blue screen glitch, which was very unfortunate, of course. And I mean, I had 160 games and I had some margins, so it was all on me missing out on the qualification. But hopefully, yes, I can make it to the Spring Cup.
And the margin of error was only like 9 losses maybe for a lot of guys.
It was amazing. I mean, we had, I think, like 20 players with 152 wins. We had like 20 players with 153 wins. And the margins are so close because, like I said, we have so many pro players, so much talent in the scene right now, so the margins become almost like, invisible.
And I hear that Megabit is losing still. 4-1 down currently. We spoke to him in the hotel, me and Richard, before. When he arrived, he said, I don't know how I feel going into this tournament. I don't know if I'm that confident. However, at some point, I will be on fire. At the moment, not going to plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's not also used to this pressure. Of course, you're going to have the pressure coming into this tournament if you had an unbeaten run in the qualification month, which only 3 players had, which was him, Shells, and also, of course, my teammate Rosenmeyer, August, hashtag AG. And he has a different pressure this year than he had last year, and we can see if he can handle this. That would be the key for him in this tournament.
Just seen a number of games. Hashtag Harry 4-1 up after his first game, I believe. About your teammate, I think he won 4-3. Believe me or not, on his first game, I think he took a 4-3 victory of playing against a Brazilian, I believe, over there. So you'll be happy for 2 of your hashtag boys.
Yeah, of course. Good start for the hashtag boys.
Obviously, hashtag Ryan involved as well there. A very talented player, obviously recently signed as well as Aga. Here comes Gorilla now. He is still 4-2 up and in control, you could say, but still another game to play. Still not over yet, is it, Boras?
Definitely not, and it's best of 2. I mean, we have 12 more minutes of the series, and the Brazilian Lira, he can start fresh from the next game, maybe even try some different formation, because right now I feel that also he feels that his defense is a little bit all over the place, because Gorilla is definitely creating too many chances. You can't allow Gorilla create this many chances.
A full time here, 4-2. The scoreline in the end for Gorilla going into that second leg. Here's a little statistic for you, Boras. Kurt was 2-0 up. He lost 3-2 in his first game.
Yeah, and Kurt is a guy, of course, coming in with maybe the biggest confidence here today, and he's looking to, of course, he's aiming to win this tournament, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself as well, so we can see how he can handle with this pressure, because he is Yep, the greatest in the world, hashtag best in the world. And we will see if that is true here.
And we're going to go over to Megabit now. I believe he isn't doing too well at the moment. And as you can see there, 4-1 down, Boras. The man that had an invincible month in qualifying month. But you come to a LAN event, you come to a different area. You're not playing in the comforts of your own home anymore. You're playing with Barcelona in a huge arena.
Yes, and adapting is key. I mean, the environment is totally different. You have to get used to maybe different gameplay. Maybe there's the gameplay is slower compared to playing from home. You have players sitting next to you, like so many different impressions that you don't have at home. And you need to cope with these and just feel very, comfortable and confident. And it seems like he didn't get in this zone yet, because this is shocking. 4-1 is shocking.
So at this point in the game, say you're in Megabit's position, you're 4-1 down, 17 minutes to go, 16 minutes to go if you want to say that. What are you changing? What formation are you going to? You going all out, or are you thinking, right, I've got a second leg?
There is definitely time enough. We've seen how goals can just fly in FIFA 18. You can score 3 goals very quickly. I watched games where, in game time, 10 minutes, you can score 3-4 goals. So if this was FIFA 17, though, he should be worried, because it was harder to attack, easier to defend. But here in 18, you can turn around very, very quickly. But that is nice.
Could it be worse for him? Dreamer there nearly got a shot away, was blocked. Tackles going in everywhere. But Megabit, this attack isn't over yet. He's got to defend again. Megabit playing for VFL Bukung in that blue strip from right to left. Remember, this is the second half of the action, but Dreamer's doing exceptionally well here.
Yeah, that was also a fantastic block from Megabit, just sliding in the last second with Valencia. And once again, Valencia there with some nice defending, but he seems stressed. That was a very poor pass.
I remember seeing Megabit last year. He was in the FIFA Interactive World Cup process. Only got to the qualifiers, the Euro as well, in Munich, but he didn't get through there either. Is it playing at a LAN event? Is it just the pressure on you?
Well, it's just very different. Like I said, you have so many different impressions than playing from home in your couch or your gaming chair, which I guess most of these players have nowadays. It's so different. And the guys who adapts the best, which usually we see Gorilla is a guy who adapts very nicely, very quickly.
Oh, this is superb. One more, surely. Oh, that's beautiful.
What a beauty.
Ronaldinho with the goal, and it's not getting better for Megabit, is it? The man from Germany. 5-1 down here.
Well, this is definitely turning into a nightmare for the German, but on the other hand, he will have more legs. Even though he loses this first battle, there's a second leg, and also if he loses that one, he still has a lot of games left. Because he haven't reached his level yet. It's easy to tell.
This is only round 1 of the fixtures to remember, guys. 2-legged games against the people that you ranked up against in your qualifying, depending on position. AK Megabit, correct me if I'm wrong, Megabit currently is playing the guy that finished 64th on Xbox, which just shows the quality of these players.
Shows the quality and also how good the competition is. I mean, the margins are so small, and all players qualified here, like all 128 players are amazing FIFA players. So anything can happen, surely.
Well, there's Harry Kane. We spoke about him earlier. He's on for Megabit. Not sure if he was a substitute or not. Kante there, just dispossessed, and a chance for Dreamer to go forward and maybe get himself another goal. Oh, he's through.
What a mistake.
Messi, stay composed, slot it past the keeper, and he does with style. 6-1 now.
Yeah, and the composure in this situation is fantastic. And many players would just stress this finish. You can see how he moves his goalkeeper here, and he leaves that near post open, and he finds this driven finesse shot in that near post. But I have to say that was a very, very poor defending cross. He just pushes up and leaves a huge space for Messi. He's not even doing any skill moves. He's just running straight through. And it seems like Megabit has some huge problems here.
For a first game of the tournament, Dreamer must be over the moon with how he started.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a confident boost going into this first leg playing against a top-seeded player. David versus Gulli, as you could say, and just smashing with 6-1.
Stats, a few shots different, but it's just an answer of being clinical. We saw that Messi chance right at the end, and he was clinical there.
Yeah, but also stats can be, I mean, very misleading because some players just finish when you really have a 100% chance, and some will shoot from the moon, you know. as soon as they see a goalkeeper, they will just, you know, shoot. And 6-1 is a big upset.
A very big upset indeed. That was Megabit, the guy that had the perfect qualifying month. 160 to 0 on Xbox, and he's just lost.
His first loss.
6-1. You could say his first loss. Yeah, I'm sure he may have lost a few in between there, but he has still got another leg to come back, I believe. This is only round 1 of the fixtures. Also to remember, guys, as well, you guys can earn yourself rewards at home just by watching the stream, linking up your Twitch to your Xbox or PS account. You can, I believe we're giving away 5,000 gold and rare packs today, so a chance to pack.
Also 3 Prime Vieras, if I heard it right. So
maybe 3 Prime Icons in there as well.
Yes, so that is pretty decent, I have to say. Costed me 1.9 million coins. I got it pretty cheap, and people here could get it for free. Not bad.
Not bad at all. You're thinking these players are worth 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. You know, people say, how do you get those coins? You get those coins by playing Foot Champions, playing Weekend League each week.
Yes, absolutely. Playing, just grinding, you know, grinding, draft. You have also seasons, maybe not the best rewards playing seasons, but first week of draft is so underrated because all players go for very high prices, like Bakayoko was 30k, and he's not so hard to pack. And I think first week of draft I made like 1 million coins and opened some packs, and the packed Cristiano Ronaldo. But since then, Brandon, my pack luck has been a travesty.
People have a mixture of their pack luck. We're going over to Principe now, one of the only Italians to be here. And how is this man getting on then? He's 3-1 up against Stylo, a good German player.
Yes, Stylo, a well-known German player here, and yes, Principe, one of the most cool customers in the scene. He's
chance.
never
that one
panicking.
goes across. Anyone at the back post? No, there isn't. I believe that this is game number 2. You can just see down below there's an aggregate score. So after this game, this will be the final score. So an aggregate score is needed. If it's a draw, we go to extra time and penalties. No away goals here. Going to be a chance now. Nainggolan. Can he whip it across if he can? That one's into Vieira. Any chance of getting the one through, and well defended in the end by Stylo.
The Italian together here with Fabio De Nuzzo playing on the Xbox side, but he's the only Italian playing on the PlayStation side, and he had a fantastic season last year, of course, topping that with the win in Madrid at the regional. So that was a bit of an upset for some fans, how he beat Gorilla very convincingly in that final. And he's, I mean, his top level is definitely one of the best in the world. Like, I will rate him as one of the world's best players.
And what do you make of, you know, there's a few guys out there, say if you've qualified yourself and you go and do that next month, you know, you'll be one of the only players, or if the only player to qualify from Sweden. You've got Kurt from Malta, only player from Malta. You know, you go across, you've got New Zealand here, you've got players from Australia, South Africa. Surely that's immense pride, playing for your country, as the only player to come out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's very special. For example, Malta, it's another big country, and they have a good presentation here per capita.
Oh, here comes Principe there. And Maldini.
Unfortunately, yes, no Swedish players here at the Winter Cup. That's very sad for Sweden as an esports country and as a FIFA country. But hopefully, in the Spring Cup, we will have some representation here.
Well, if you look at the Scandinavia, you know, if you bring in Denmark as well, there is talent there, and that, you know, they've been known for their love of FIFA, and not just that, their quality at the game.
Yeah, overall Scandinavia in esports very good. Maybe because, you know, we don't have the best climate and people are just staying home and playing games, perhaps.
Is that what it is?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, here's Stylo now. Messi tried to feed that one through. He's 3-1 down in this second leg. So if he loses this, Stylo, he'll play against a player that's 0-1 as well. And Van der Sar, the keeper of choice for Principe there.
Maybe not the most usual choice here. We're going to see a lot of the Krias, of course, team of the year version. But Van der Sar, I heard he's amazing at saving penalty kicks.
Okay.
And he has the height, and this is a great chance.
Chance, Principe. Oh, cheeky chip.
And that's 4-1. That was the only option. That is a perfect decision going for that chip shot, because all other angles are closed. You can see how the goalkeeper comes out, and it just cuts off all angles except for that cheeky chip, and it's a perfect decision. Wonderful goal.
And Ramos couldn't even get there to get rid of it. 4-1 to Principe, the man from Italy.
Yeah, but back to the point, we see that tall goalkeepers are usually very good, because we see Begovic, amazing. We see...
Andanovic, is he in there, or is he not the tallest?
He's not the tallest. I mean, 193, I think he's pretty tall, but more like Furman. I mean, 84 rating, but he is a giant in the goal, and you know that means more pixels, better reach.
Of course.
What's that?
And especially for those penalties as well, especially in the tournament competition where he might need to save a few.
Yeah. And I'm actually a bit curious if we might see any Farmans here today.
Oh, chance. Principe. Pele with the shot, I believe that was De Gea. Had to just get a boot to that one, and a corner coming in now. Messi, the man that just scored for Principe to make it 4-1. Lovely interchange there. Messi, I thought he was just going to dive down that right-hand side, but...
he had a huge space there, but he overdone it there with Messi. But of course, if you have Team of the Year Messi, you want to make something fancy out of it.
Oh, this could be nice now. Stylo, a big goal for him. Chance. Ronaldinho. Oh, penalty. Red card maybe as well?
Perhaps. Not this time.
Just skip past it. Something to talk about him in a minute, but up steps Ronaldinho for Stylo. Puts it left off the post. That's got to be salting the wounds for him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't afford missing a penalty kick when you're down 1-4. That is devastating for the German.
Koulibaly, let's talk about him for a little bit. Obviously plays from Napoli. What do you make of him?
Well, we saw his team of the season last year, absolutely fantastic, and I think this is his second in form. And I think the reason why Principe chooses Koulibaly is that he can play Nainggolan, which is one of his favorite players that also brought him fame last year. He was so good for him. Because he's a big fan of Roma, which is not my favorite club. I'm supporting Lazio, but he loves Roma and he wants to use some of the Roma players. But also Nainggolan he is very good in FIFA. He has that physical ability. Could have been goal of the tournament.
Is that one of those stages where anyone but Valencia you want the ball to fall to there?
Yeah.
He's got the best finishing, has he?
Yeah, but almost done it. And Koulibaly, back to him, I mean, he is tall. Of course, maybe could have gone for Team of the Year Bonucci, but I believe he doesn't have the same acceleration as Koulibaly. But still, it's a bit surprising choice, still.
But this is the second leg here. 4-1 on aggregate. Messi there. Penalty, no. Oh, and he even just gets thrown away as well. Big tackles coming in here. Vieira just does enough on that one for Stylo, and Stylo can attack now. Stylo did have a penalty missed. Hit the post with Ronaldinho. Chance for him to get one back. Ronaldo, superb defending.
Yeah, that's great blocking. We see a lot of auto blocks in FIFA 18, but that was a manual block from Principe just sliding in. I believe that was Koulibaly with that slide, and that should have been a free kick, right?
Referee says play on here. 4-1 the score. I'm sure the score was at a different level. He would have minded a bit more, but at the moment he's more in control.
Yeah, I think that actually it's Mehmet Yildiraz, the referee in this game. He's a very legendary FIFA referee, and sometimes he can be a bit controversial.
I know he's not here, but I remember in Munich last year, you were there as well for the FIFA Interactive World Cup qualifiers. Bullock was saying about the ref, saying that some give free kicks, some don't want to give them, but full time here, and Principe.
But that makes perfect sense, because we have different levels on the referees. How we have 3 different levels. They are very like normal ones, and then they are lenient, and then they are strict. So you have 3 types of referees, and some are strict. They will blow very easy fouls and also give out yellow cards and maybe even red cards.
Yeah,
a little bit easier.
So talk to me about that game then. Principe only saw the second half of it. 4-1 overall. He started the competition well.
Yes, and this is how Principe wants to play. He wants to have this very tight defending. You see that block he did from Koulibaly. That is Principe in his best moments, like all the time having the focus, all the time finding the solution in the defense, and also he's so good at finding these through balls to his cams or CMs pushing up. And we saw that he did it many times in this game, finding Messi and scoring for him pretty easy goals.
And we'll be back very shortly after a very short break. for all round 2 fixtures.
Nobody's gonna believe me. You got a phone? Yeah. Come here then.
This is it. The Madden NFL 18 Club Championship. It's the title before the title. The hitch before the go. The chip before the chip. This is where you might see a banner raised in Cleveland before you ever see another one in Foxborough. Where players repped by all 32 NFL squads converge to battle it out in hopes of taking home that sweet, sweet championship belt. And where your team always has a shot at the crown. This is where it all goes down. And it's happening 3 days before the other big game. Let's get it.
Alright, cool. Can you hear me?
The Miami round of the EA Sports FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Championship Series was filled with drama.
Alright, cool. Are you changing that or do you want me to do it?
Miami featured a perfect sweep stage.
Alright, cool, cool.
Penalty drama dominated
Did you hear that?
round.
Huh?
6 players earned the right to compete in Berlin. The final was an all-Brazilian affair.
I don't think Mav can hear you now. We're going into the Rocky game. I can't hear you.
Hey, Alex. Alex Hunter?
Yeah.
Forget them. They don't know anything. You're the greatest. Do you want my Coke?
Right.
It's okay. You can have it.
Cool. Yeah, you're alright
Talk? Talk? Yeah, me. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. I can hear you now, yeah. Cool.
Nobody's gonna believe me.
You got a phone?
Yeah.
Come here then.
Right. Perfect. What's up, guys? It's your boy Wolfie and Maverick from the Maverick Wolves. Bro, it's been intense so far, hasn't it?
It's been intense, and also we're going to have to follow on from Brandon and Boris as well, and that's going to be a difficult job. We're heading into Game 6 with Vitality Rocky here against Imperial Dande. Currently, it's not going the way some people would probably expect.
I know, man. It's been interesting, though. It's been very, very interesting.
The whole tournament so far has been interesting. I mean, Megabit getting beaten 6-1 was the final score against Grima. No one expected that to happen.
Yeah, I didn't even see that coming. But it should be interesting to see how this game goes. I mean, shout out to Boras and Brandon, by the way, for the
incredible play-by-play commentary.
We're not going to be as professional
not quite as professional, but as I said, we've got Imperial Dande, who is 2-1 up at the moment against Vitality Rocky, which overall puts him 3-2 up on aggregate. As I said, result a few people probably wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, I think it's 3-3 as well, but...
3-3, sorry, yeah, 3-3 on aggregate.
Let's see how this game develops. We've got Ronaldo, who is just scoring goals for everyone at the moment.
Both Ronaldos, I mean, whether it's CR7 or R9 Ronaldo, they are, of course, a feature in almost every attack we're going to see this entire weekend.
Yeah, see, I'm using this event to see who I need to put in my team for the put champs.
You're saying this as if you can afford the likes of these 99 Ronaldos and 94 R9s as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Team of the Year's just happened. I've got a few coins.
A chance coming in here. Nice,
oh
Ronaldo.
My.
Scoop turn, low driven. As we know and as we've seen, low driven is going to be the most likely goal scorer this season.
It's just too effective. Too effective. Look, let's have a look at that again. So he gets the ball, scoops it. The defender has no chance. Bottom low drive as well.
David De Gea, he has the save with feet trait. However, on that occasion, his feet didn't even help him. That shot was pinpoint.
So we've got Ronaldo coming in now. Now we've got some tactical changes.
We've got pause coming in. Some changes need to be made. We have got Ronaldinho going out on that wide.
What else is happening? We've got some stay back.
It's all happening so fast. It's all happening so fast. I can barely keep up with it.
Okay, right, we're getting back into it now, though. So that was a great goal, though, man. Like, it's when you get in that space and get that turn, the defenders have no chance, do they?
Once you get into that position with players like Ronaldo and Ronaldo, then as soon as they get a turn in on goal, that low driven is so accurate, it's so effective, and it almost invariably leads to a goal.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just showing how effective this player is as well. Team of the Year, Ronaldo. Do you think, because you've used him, haven't you?
I've used him myself, and the increase in agility, the increase in pace is very, very noticeable. And of course, at competition, when you're at this elite level, that is the difference between scoring a goal and not scoring a goal, and that's the difference between winning and losing in this situation.
So I just saw, I think Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo, the Brazilian one, just got subbed off. If I'm correct,
yeah, he did, and Gareth Bale has come on, a player as well. I myself have used a lot in the weekend league. That left foot is absolutely lethal.
So yeah, Ronaldo on the ball.
Ronaldo, see, these situations...
Oh my, like...
We spoke about it, if you get your back turned, you get that low-driven shot in, it's always deadly.
We've had 2 goals in the space of about 2 minutes.
I'm happy for that.
It's 4-4 on aggregate. This game literally could go anywhere.
We've got another pause coming in. He's just checking the, obviously, player ratings of the opponent. Wild changes will be made to try and get back in this game, because currently... This is even, and it will be going to extra time and penalties to decide. So one of these guys wants to win it in normal time.
But it shows how effective formation is in FIFA 18.
Formation is important. Obviously, custom tactics, instructions, they're also so important. As I said, it's these small details that these guys take into consideration every game they play, which is the difference between them and the elite 2 level players like ourselves.
Yeah, we might get top 100 one day, but at the moment...
You might, I'm not.
Yeah, well, I've been 1 away from Elite 1, that's as good as I've got, so... I just need a few more wins and then I'll be able to get in there, but it's not happening so far.
Quite a few more,
yeah.
In fact, to go.
But speaking of formations and stuff like that, it also shows how much a difference having a good teammate, because at these events, you see the best of the best, don't you? The players...
100%. I mean, the teams you're going to see and the teams we have seen so far, it's almost a given that it's going to include that 90 Huller, that 91 Prime Vieira, 99 Ronaldo, that 94 Ronaldo as well. These players are almost present in every team we're going to see over this weekend. But I look at that tidy, neat little finish from Ronaldo. It's in off the post as well. Keeper can do nothing about that. Whether he's 97 rated or not, he can't.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we're getting back off with the kick-off. Kante on the ball.
N'Golo Kante, team of the year version, I'm more than sure of. Oh, and Vieira's made a massive mistake there. That could lead to what could be the deciding and vital goal, but we are only 73 minutes into the game.
Anything can happen. Like I said, it's 4-4 on aggregate. Ronaldo gets it to Hullet.
They're the problems.
Oh, is that a pen? Ooh. Was that?
I mean, that's
if that was me, I'd be screaming at my monitor.
I'd be screaming at my monitor, but that is a sigh of relief there. That is a heart-in-mouth moment. Ronaldo gets himself out wide. He's very short of some options, and it's led to him being tackled and the possession being turned over.
But it's so good to see the likes of Ronaldinho back in FIFA.
Ronaldinho is a one of my favourite items this year. I did the SBC for the Prime version, and I absolutely love him. I play him in at the cam position once you change the game, and he is so important.
But we got Hullet on the ball now. What's he going to do? He plays it out wide to Walker.
Plays it back inside to Pele. He was actually on the ball now. This nice little intricate play. Can he get a chance in on goal?
Oh, the pass wasn't on for Ronaldo though.
Gareth Bale, that might be part of the reason he's brought him on, to also because he's very effective attacking. However, he can also be very good on the defense.
Okay.
It's not quite the FIFA 17 days where I was playing him right centre back at times.
Oh, wait a minute. Boom! Rocky takes the lead.
That's why you get him.
Yeah.
That's why I love the guy. His composure, his finishing, and the ponytail. The ponytail is amazing.
What a finish. A lot of goals are being low-driven shots. Like, it just proves how effective taking different types of shots are.
Yeah, I mean, low-driven seems to be, should I say, not, I'm 100% not going to say it is, but it seems to be the most effective way of scoring, and it's going to be how majority of the goals will be scored this weekend, I'm sure. However, of course, you need the ability to variation of shot, as you said, to beat these 97 David De Gea's, who is obviously incredible with his hands or his feet.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to have to try and produce that 30-yard whipper top bin.
Sometimes you've got to pull one of them out.
And it looks good.
Yeah, it looks great when you can pull it off as well.
So we've got four of them coming into the fray now, by the looks of it. But it's
very interesting choice, that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it, if I'm honest, but
that Ronaldinho finish into that side net. Look at that. It's almost a toe poke style finish, that one.
Yeah. So we're getting back into it. 5-4 to Rocky at the moment. Is that Ronaldo coming off again? Looks like both players have taken Ronaldo off. Or Brazilian Ronaldo, I should probably say.
5-4, that's very tight, very tense.
So there's 6 in-game minutes left.
Can we see an upset?
This is going to be a tense finish, I can feel it.
Valencia running down that wing. That is where Valencia is very important. The likes of Valencia and Walker, their pace. Ronaldo's in goal. Vieira, can he take a long shot? David De Gea uses that frame, as Ivan was mentioning, the difference in pixels between players.
So precise.
Yeah, exactly. The heights of goalkeepers are vitally important this year, and it's something I haven't considered, and I will now consider for the rest of my FUT Champions game.
But now it looks like Rocky just is playing the possession game, which he would do, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're in this position, you're obviously a goal up. It's vital you get this win. You're going to hold the ball, and you're going to keep possession as and where you can.
Yeah, and being the Berlin champion, he has that experience. He knows how to see a game out now.
Exactly that. He's very comfortable. He's been here before. This isn't obviously his first event, and he's actually come out with a win. It was very tight, and as I said, there was almost an upset, but on this occasion, it wasn't the case.
Yeah, very strong performance, and a tense game. 3-3.
The stats, I mean, very tight. 7 shots, 7 on target.
Yeah, but winning 5-4, you got to be happy with that.
You've got to be happy. One thing I am happy of is there is a lot of goals at the moment for us to see, for us to commentate on.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing so far. Lots of games, lots of goals. It's exactly what you want.
It's been a very explosive start to this competition, and I hope it continues.
But I think we're going to be moving to Age's game now. He's currently 4-2 down in the second leg and 7-6
on aggregate. Again, look at the goals being scored. There is a total of 13 goals between both so far. That is a lot of goals to be scored. And we have a pause coming in as well. At the moment, a few changes and amendments being made, and again, it really highlights the importance of you need to sense a moment where you potentially need to change something in order to come out with that eventually.
Yeah, it's like being Jose Mourinho.
So you go park the bus?
Well, I do, but I mean, it's all about tactics. It's not just scoring goals. It's about seeing games out, making sure you got the right formation.
Of course,
tactics.
Sometimes you need a plan B, and that is something Mourinho doesn't always have. It is just park the bus, plan A, and that is it. But Ronaldo to Marcelo. Team of the year as well, left back, of course, since his release, it's an item we're going to see featured again in most teams at that left back position. We do have the likes of Sandro as well, who will get himself in. But attack-wise, defence-wise, very similar teams across the board. And Patrick Vieira going into Ronaldo. Ronaldo out to Hullet. Hullet has been dangerous from this sort of range and has been for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, he couldn't find that through ball through the actual team.
It's hard to find that goal when there's so many players just crowding that box, isn't it?
It's about patience, something I don't always have a lot of, which is possibly where I lose a lot of games.
So Hullet's on the ball now. Gets it to Omri. What can he do with this with Vieira? There's a bit of space.
He's created that little bit of space, as we spoke about. It's hard to get, and on this occasion he can't quite use it, and the possession has been turned over. Can this game be held out?
Ooh, he's defending very well.
That's very, very calm and composed. Me, myself there, I would be sweating.
That's why we're not taking part in this tournament.
there's multiple reasons why we're not. Not just my lack of ability to hold the ball in the 86th minute.
But we have a break here. Ronaldo on the ball.
It's not over until it's over.
Cuts back.
It's a big cross.
Oh,
I think that was Henry challenging at the back post. Very, very clean header. Marcelo again. He's showing that composure, that ability to pass it back to the keeper and just keep himself calm and composed.
But we're in the dying minutes of the game. Like I said, it's currently...
This is the moments you do not want that ball nicked. You do not want that turnover to happen. You just want that possession to stay with yourself.
Hold up.
And it's a chance. It's a chance to put this game to bed.
De Gea.
And De Gea
found the extra gear of pace. It looked like he wasn't going to make that, but he did.
He was slow off the line, but he got there in the end, and that's the important part. And
but this game isn't over.
This could be a vital moment.
Oh, it's a free kick. It's been pulled back. It's been pulled back.
That's a professional foul in that situation. What is Aga going to change here?
I think he's going all out.
Pele's coming on. Is it too little, too late? Do you think?
I mean, it's the 90th minute. Anything can happen.
Hey, it's never too late, isn't it?
It's not over till the final whistle goes.
Exactly.
So is there a change of formation as well? Let's have
or
a
is he
quick look.
going to stick it? He's putting that all the way up. He's putting the pressure. He's putting the aggression. He's putting it all up. He wants to put that all up.
I think he's throwing the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Yeah. Throwing the proverbial kitchen sink at it. Just waiting for the game to load back in.
So what do you reckon he's going to do? Is he going to play a long ball, play it short? What would you do?
What I would do and what I find really effective this year is the LTRB to call second and third man.
Yeah.
Then make the third man run and pass it to him.
Yeah.
That seems to be really effective.
It's a bit. I agree, but it's a bit too far out for this because I'd usually do that as well. But
so what? You yourself? You're just gonna you'd have a smack at it?
No. I wouldn't shoot. I'm not good enough to do that. What I'd do is I'd lay it off and then try and find another pass, or maybe dink it back post.
We have a tweet coming in as well which said, "Wish I could play like the pros."
Yeah, we all do.
I was about to say, I think we all wish we could be this good at FIFA.
But Tom Scott says he's enjoying the tournament so far.
I think, like I said, it's been a very explosive start. It's been a very enjoyable start. There's been goals galore. There's been a lot of amazing players on Showcase as well. So it's a dream start.
Dale's making the run.
He has made the run.
Is he onside? He's dragged it wide. He wasn't offside.
He was offside. He was offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But what a big moment that almost was. And that second man run again was very, very effective, even from a further distance out.
Yeah, and that's game. I think that's the final whistle. Yes, it is. Just to confirm, I think it was 7-6 overall on aggregate. Eric wins 4-2 in the second leg, which makes him win 7-6 overall.
Yeah, another very enjoyable game. Goals galore once more. So for me and for everybody sitting watching at home. So it's a spectacle.
Yeah, so we've had the AGA game. I think it's time to now move over to Gorilla's game. The second leg is now happening.
It is currently 5-3 overall to Gorilla.
1-1 in the second leg, so it's been 9 minutes and 2 goals already. So it's good. We're in store for a good game here.
We are in store.
Where's my popcorn?
Yeah,
I need some snacks. So
a weird question, and probably a question which I shouldn't be asking, but what flavour?
It's got to be sweet. It's got to be sweet.
A mix of sweet and salty for myself.
Okay, fair enough.
Bitter and sweet.
But here we go. Right, Bale on
away from popcorn and back to FIFA, shall we?
Yeah.
You've got Bale in there as well. Messi.
Hold up.
That's a lovely one too. Ronaldo with the left foot. That 4-star weak foot. Maybe if it was 5-star.
Oh yeah.
Gone in.
That's another thing we should talk about is 5-star weak foot. For me, I need to have someone who has 5-star weak foot in my team, whether it be in midfield or up front. because
Correct,
it is actually so effective.
While you say that, we got a chance for Henry. Henry bags it. That is 2-1 to Gorilla. 15 minutes gone, as you said. We could be in for a seriously high-scoring game here.
And that was some great play, to be fair. Goes down the channel, finds that low-driven pass.
Finds the overlap on the right-hand side and the low-driven shot across body into that left-hand side of the goal.
The hair had no chance.
Absolutely zero. Like I said earlier, again, you can be 97, you can be 99, but you're still not saving shots, and that's accurate.
And literally, as Gorilla scores, we get a tweet saying, go, 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 Gorilla. So
it's like the luck came through from that tweet. We have a turnover very, very quickly from kickoff as well. Can Gorilla really press his advantage? Nice little fake stop.
Is he offside? Yeah, he's offside.
He's offside. But
Gorilla looks in the mood.
He looks in the mood. He looks in the mood for goal. When you watch Gorilla, you know you're going to get very, very attacking play. He's going to be at you for the whole 90 minutes.
Oh, that's a great ball.
That's a wonderful ball down the channel. Roberto Carlos finds almost an equally as amazing ball into that middle into Ronaldo. Oh, that is composure from Gorilla there. Again, another moment.
Both players are putting on a lot of pressure. Like, they're trying to play around the back, but the ball is getting intercepted very, very quickly.
It's getting turned over very, very quick. As we can see here, it doesn't seem like anyone has got a huge amount of possession right now. They're both playing fairly attacking. They're both going at the throat, which, again, for us makes for a very great game.
Yeah.
Hullet turns over. Hullet, have we had a game where Hullet isn't in it yet?
Not too sure, to be honest.
Are we going to have a game where it's not in it? That is the other question.
But you get the likes of these players that everyone just loves to use. You get the prime Ferdinand.
That's a lovely back heel there. Hullet goes in. Hullet again, pulling the strings to Messi. Messi doesn't quite have the pace to reach it.
He's offside. Oh, he defended that so well.
It's very, very... Again, he's just showing that composure level that these guys have. The average player watching at home like myself and obviously a few of you guys just don't possess in the crunch moments, because this is a massive tournament.
A massive tournament. And the level of play is just next level. I've seen a few people tweet it as well, saying that the way these pros are playing is just next level.
It's crazy. There's the skill moves coming in. The through balls. Here we go. We've got Bale with a chance, but great defending there from Ferdinand. I believe that will be his prime item, of course. Again, another defender that is just, for me, whenever I play him, he's like an octopus.
Yeah.
He's got so many arms. He's so quick. He's so strong. And he's just incredible. We've got another overlap here.
Oh, good defending.
Messi back defending. Of all people, you've got Messi back defending there. And again,
that's what you need.
Again, we're in that position where the play is very kind of scrappy. No one's really dominating the possession.
Yeah. It's, like I said, Vieira is intercepting a lot of the play from both teams. Oh, wow, what
Vieira is... Roberto Carlos is now offering himself in the attacking position. These guys, they're not holding anything back. They are going hell for leather here. We've got Bale into Carlos.
Maybe
Carlos
wait, it's not finished.
Oh, Ronaldo left
Great
foot.
finish. Bottom left, low finesse. I love that finish myself.
That 5-star weak foot. It's so vital. As you said, you like to have a 5-star weak foot, and for that reason, which way do you show Ronaldo? Do you show him left? Do you show him right?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
And I think that's what helps, is because if you know a player has like a low weak foot, you know they're going to try and score on their good foot, so you can move your defender there. But when you have a 5-star weak foot player, it's very unpredictable, because it could go either way.
Trying to anticipate it becomes very difficult.
But it's currently 2-2 in this game. 6-4 to Gorilla overall on aggregate. It's been a great game so far.
We're 37 minutes in and I'm already short of breath.
Oh,
Marcelo
wow.
with the lovely skill move there. You don't expect Marcelo to be doing that very often, but he's pulled it out of the bag.
And we got the ball here with Ronaldo. Can he find
the overlap
Brazilian?
is there, but again, Ferdinand is ever present in that defensive situation. He plays it out wide to Ronaldo. That is a wonderful pass and distribution from the goalkeeper. Henry gets himself in. Ball roll into Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, I'm going to mention it, and I'm probably going to mention it more times than people want to hear, but Ronaldinho, he's just my favourite.
He is good. And no one does skills like him. He just has this kind of... Look at that. Just how quick the skills are.
He's so agile. He's just fleet-footed. His finishing is incredible. But
even Vieira's trying to get on it with the Cruyff turn.
Even Vieira's getting in on the flare right now. Ronaldo, nice little skill.
Oh,
and Ronaldo.
Wow. That's unlike Ronaldo.
That is very unlike Ronaldo. The composure was not there. That left foot, it was dragged very wide in the end. It almost went out for a throw-in.
Gorilla could have thought that was a goal there, but maybe he would have been even surprised with that.
Henri to Valencia. Something a sentence I never expected to say myself.
Right. Well, we're close to half-time in this game. Roberto Carlos on the ball. Is there going to be any more action before the whistle goes? Oh, good interception from Ferdinand there.
I mean, again, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it across this weekend, across these 943 games, but Ferdinand is there to defend it out, as he always will be, ever present in that defensive situation.
So we're now moving to the Kurt game. He is currently 2-1 up in the second leg, which means it's 4-4 on aggregate.
We could be having an extra time on our hands here, unless Kurt can find that goal in this situation. Into Ronaldo across to Matthias. What a time to join. Matthias on the left foot, and he may have just clinched this tie for Kurt. There is a pause coming in, so invariably Tex will be making some changes to try and get himself back in this game, but Kurt seems to have maybe stolen the tie as we switch over.
Wow, what a way to come into a game. Matthias with the finish. For me, I have him in my team, and he makes the best attacking runs, and it's just proved it right there.
Exactly. And we have more tweets coming in saying the FIFA E-World Cup, the hashtag, as we know, is hashtag FIFA E-World Cup, but so far it's been an amazing watch. I've been watching games all day, and they've just been so exciting, and like I said, I'm so glad and happy for this to continue.
That's right, guys. If you are on Twitter, be sure to use that hashtag, which is hashtag FIFA E-World Cup. And we will be shouting out and reading out all your tweets. It's been a great event so far, and we've got some tactical changes still.
We've got some amazing results coming in. We've got some people stating their claim. We've got some people not quite hitting their form as of yet, but of course we are early, and the new Swiss variety and formation of this tournament means that that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you very much. System means that we can have some very interesting matchups, and you can lose a couple of games, and it doesn't mean you're out.
Yeah. It's a very good system, to be fair. But we're getting back into this game right now. Kurt is 3-1 up.
Interestingly,
I think it's 5-4 on
offensive and offside trap to try and stop this immediate response, which of course could push that extra time, which I mentioned could be an option.
Well, Kurt now has the ball, and all he has to do is keep
all
it.
He has to do is keep it for 2 in-game minutes, which right now for him may feel like an eternity. Roberto Carlos to Vieira, and he's held it out.
There it is. What
a time to join.
What a time to join.
What a time to join. What a time to come in as Matthias uses that left foot to seal Kurt the victory on this occasion across the 2 legs.
So, we managed to catch all that action. I think it's time to head back to the Gorilla game. It is still currently 2-2 in the second leg.
Ooh, 58 minutes gone again. We almost came in on a goal.
Yeah.
We almost came in on a goal.
I wasn't expecting that, I'm not going to lie. But we got some more tactical changes happening.
Tactical checks just to see what formation the opponent is in, because we have mentioned this a few times, but this tournament really showcases how important it is to be on top of what formation your opponent's using, what players your opponent is using, and sensing when is a good time to slow the play, when to speed it up, when to maybe adapt your formation and what you're doing, and things like this are so important, and especially a tournament of this magnitude, it does make the difference between you winning and you losing.
It does, and as you can see, Gorilla was just checking what the formation both teams were using, because sometimes you want to try and match, or you feel like a formation does better against a different formation. But we have Gorilla on the ball now.
Personally, I find it really hard to break the 4-2-3-1 formation down.
Yes. So here we go. Gorilla searching for another goal.
He's trying to wait for that. Oh, that Hullet. That Hullet has looked incredible all weekend, and we're a day in.
Ferdinand is doing very well in defence for a lot of players as well. He's made some crucial blocks in this game for definite.
As I said, we should probably start up a penny jar. For every time we say Ferdinand has defended well, you have to put a penny in the jar.
Oh, what was that? Yo, Ronaldo.
This is some very neat tight passing on the edge of the box. Can he find the hole through, or is he going to overplay it? He's overplayed it, and eventually it works out that he's offside. See, sometimes like that, it's just the hole doesn't form.
Yeah.
The hole doesn't form. Maybe you have to go back, restart the play. Maybe playing backwards would help in that situation.
There's Vieira again breaking up the play. Honestly, for me, he's one of the best players in the game that does that. His interceptions are ridiculous.
I mean, it is the reason that we will see him CDM for majority of teams. He is just that rock in that CDM position. He intercepts everything. He is very, very tall, so he heads everything. Those extra pixels that Ivan loves come into play very often when Vieira is the topic of conversation.
Yeah, we're definite. So Ramos on the ball, spreads it wide to Valencia. He's one of the best right backs in the game for me right now.
Yeah, again, Valencia, the only downside to him is the fact he has 70 odd jumping.
Wait a minute.
And we could be in
for
a goal. Ronaldo goes in.
Big
David
save.
De Gea makes that important save, keeping Gorilla ahead by those 2 goals. If he had scored there, then we would be looking for a bit of a sweat. Fergie time potentially as well.
Yeah, it could be very tense for the end there. But Hullit's on the ball now.
Hullit goes in.
And there's Ferdinand.
Ferdinand defends well. That's, as I said, we need to start this penny job. We'll be very, very rich by the end of the weekend.
But there's still plenty of time in this game. Anything can happen. If you just joined, it's 2-2 in the second leg, but currently Gorilla is winning 6-4 on aggregate. And Ronaldo on the ball.
And guys, don't forget as well, you can and are able to vote which match you would like to see. So keep those tweets coming in, keep those comments coming in on the stream. Hashtag next match FIFA 18. You guys know how to do it. Get those tweets coming in. Also, as I said, get them flying in the chat, and let's see what you guys want to see. But as I say, that Messi goes for the Cruyff turn and has actually tackled Hullit into Henry. Chance for Ronaldo. Gorilla. 3-2.
Ronaldo is there. If there's a goal, it's usually this man.
It's Ronaldo or Ronaldo.
Yeah. But what a finish. It came an interesting way to him, but he finished it, and that's all that matters.
Look, at the end of the day, it's no matter how you score a goal. If you scored, you scored, and that's literally the only important thing. It's not always how you score the goal; it's that you score the goal. We've got some instructions coming in at the speed of light. Yeah. I would talk you through what is happening, but I physically cannot.
I think Gorilla has this down to memory.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's done this thousands of times. He knows what he's doing. He's proven it once again with that finish from Ronaldo, as you said.
The hair came in with the arm, but he's just hit it under him.
FIFA World Cup is a whole different world. What?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a whole new world.
Hey, golfmaatje.
Hallo. Nee, jij bent zeker nog FIFA aan het spelen?
Nee, niet aan het spelen, man. Ik ben hem aan het afsluiten.
Afsluiten?
Ja.
Ja, ik heb net mijn andere PlayStation uitgezet, toch? Ik was zwaar aan het oefenen. Jongen.
Ja, weet ik. Ik ken jou.
Ja. Ik heb 2 PlayStations bij je. Ik denk
Oh ja, je hoort natuurlijk die commentaar. Ik heb de World Cup erop staan van FIFA. Is nou in Barcelona, toch? 128 beste spelers van de wereld.
Okay.
Maar weet je, dan hoor je mooi een beetje van al die commentatoren en zo. En dan hoor je een beetje van de spelers, toch? Krijg je toch een beetje bevestiging van dit zijn de goede spelers. Dit is echt de beste rechtsback. Weet je, dat soort dingetjes. Dat vind ik wel fijn, weet je. Daarom ben ik ook blij dat ik Rio Ferdinand heb gedaan, man. Die heb iedereen in zijn team staan.
Ja, dat is gewoon het beste verdediger.